Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and welcome back to Why Mega Evolve. Now, earlier last week we talked about Mega Dedenne, and today we're going to be talking about Mega Solrock. But before we get started, let me just give you guys a brief explanation on what this series is about. Now, every week we'll be picking two Pokemon that either need a Mega Evolution, deserve a Mega Evolution, or want a Mega Evolution for. Now, this is based off my opinion alone, and no one else's. Now, if you guys do not like my opinion, then please post your own opinions in the comments section down below about what would you keep, what would you change, and etc. And at the end of every video, we'll be telling you guys which Pokemon we'll be talking about the following day. So with that said, here is Mega Solrock. Now, I knew at some point, like this year, like before November 18th, I was going to be getting some comments or some messages or whatever the case may be. I knew someone was going to be telling me, hey, when are you going to do a video on Solrock and Lunatone? Because obviously with their designs being based off of the games that we're going to be getting in November, I knew some people were going to mention, hey, you should do Solrock and Lunatone because they're based off of a sun and also a moon. And a lot of people actually speculated we were going to be getting a Mega Solrock and also a Mega Lunatone and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire at the time where people were like still speculating stuff, and that really never happened. So with us getting a game called Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, a lot of people are hoping, or I wouldn't say hoping, but a lot of people are speculating that we will be getting a Mega Solrock and also a Mega Lunatone in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Now personally for me, I honestly don't care if we do get a Mega Solrock or a Mega Lunatone. I'm not saying that I don't want it. I'm saying if we do get one, then kudos to the people who actually wanted it. Now, now to be completely honest, like I said, I'm not hating on like, hey, we shouldn't have a Mega Solrock and a Mega Lunatone. I just am not. I want other Pokemon to receive a Mega Evolution first before them, but like I wouldn't be mad if they did receive one, if that makes sense, because I don't want to be like biased or anything about them like getting one or not getting one at the same time. But like I said, it's whatever to me. But anyways, Solrock for me, I actually like it the least between Lunatone and Solrock. I like Lunatone a lot more just because I feel like Lunatone is a lot more versatile than Solrock. Now, obviously, if you cannot tell, Solrock and Lunatone are the complete opposite of one another. One's a special attacker and one's a physical attacker. And obviously, if you cannot tell by now, Solrock is the physical variant of the two. Now, Solrock does get access to some good physical type attacks like Stone Edge, Earthquake, Gyro Ball, Iron Head, Zen Headbutt. It gets like that, like those moves I just mentioned will probably be its moveset if we do get a Mega Lunatone, or excuse me, a Mega Solrock. So as you can see from what I've done to its stats, I did increase everything and decrease its special attack because like with Solrock's stats, I felt like I needed a little bit more of an increase rather than just the base 100 stats that a normal Mega gets. So that's what I decided to do, is that I decided to decrease its special attack by 30 points. That way I had 130 points to distribute into its other stats. And honestly, I really did need it because for its physical attack, I increased it from base 95 to base 145. Now, I increased its physical attack the most, obviously, because when it comes down to it, Solrock is the physical variant when it comes to Lunatone and Solrock. Now, like I said, Solrock does get access to moves like Stone Edge, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Iron Head, Zen Headbutt. Those moves I just mentioned is a really good moveset to actually have on Solrock, but at the same time, like I said, it's not a special attacker, so it only has like a selected few moves to actually run on it, and those are most likely the only moves you will ever see on a Solrock if it does get a Mega Evolution like that. I feel like it should get like other moves like maybe Flame Charge or like Flare Blitz or something like that to correspond with like what it's based off of the sun, but sadly enough it doesn't. So with the moves that it gets, it like obviously, like I said, Lunatone is the more versatile one compared to Solrock, so it's only going to have a selected few moves that it can actually go off of, and pretty much the moves I just mentioned are pretty much going to be the only moves that you'll probably ever see on a Mega Solrock. Well, you will probably see like Return, Facade, Giga Impact. This isn't Giga Impact. I don't think it should, just because I just saw Hyper Beam. It does get access to Giga Impact. It doesn't get access to Double Edge actually it does get access to Double Edge. The move tutor from Fire Red and Leaf Green. So those are other moves that you could potentially run on a Mega Solrock. Now for its physical defense, I increased it from base 85 to base 110. I wanted Solrock to be a little bit more bulkier because with its typing, obviously, as you can see, it's not going to be able to take water type attacks all that well, obviously. And even though water types are more specially, there are some physical water type attacks like Waterfall and Aqua Jet, which are very common in competitive play. And this thing is also going to be 4 times weak to ground, which Earthquake is also going to be a big problem when it comes to Solrock. So it is going to have some 4 Titans weaknesses when it comes to this specific Pokemon in general, but I wanted to increase its physical defense. That way it could potentially, like I said, be like a physical defensive wall, or at least be able to take at least like 1 hit. But when it comes down to like a 4 times super effective move, I honestly don't see that actually happening. But 110, obviously I could see this thing pretty much maybe tanking 1 hit, but that's completely it. And for its special defense, I increased it from base 65 to base 90. I wanted to increase it just a little bit more, but I didn't want to actually decrease its special attack lower than it already is. Like I said, I decreased it to base 25. So like I said, there was going to be some stuff that was going to be cut, and sadly enough, its special defense was going to be that. Now, even though I did cut it just a little bit to base 90, like I said, is not all that half bad. But when it comes to a Pokemon that is 4 times weak to, like I said, like water and ground, it is going to be not taking a lot of water type attacks and maybe just earth power all that well. But base 90, for what it's worth, I think it's a very good special defensive stat for a Pokemon like Solrock. Just because if you look at its design, it doesn't look like it's supposed to be able to take that many hits. So I feel like base 90 is good for what it's worth. And for its speed, I increased it from base 70 to base 100. Now I wanted Solrock to actually make up for its weaknesses, if that makes sense. So I wanted to make its speed equally to base 100. That way you can run like max speed, max physical attack with the Jolly Nature, and run that type of set, and that way Solrock can actually outspeed a lot of things, because with its defenses being as it is, and its HP stat being at base 70 and maxing out at 344 if you do run max HP, it's not really going to cut it. So I wanted to make it a lot more speedier. That way it can actually kind of make up for its its weaknesses, if that makes sense. So I feel like base 100 is a very good speed stat for a Solrock, and as a regular Solrock, its base stats at 440, and with the Mega Evolution it's going to be at 540. Now for its ability, I decided to give it a new ability that I made up and I actually used in the past, an ability called Furnace. Now I know a lot of people are probably going to be complaining that I didn't get this thing Levitate, but I feel like obviously with Solrock being based off of it and of the sun, it needs to get access to fire type moves. Now what Furnace does is pretty much the exact same thing as like Pixelate and Refrigerate. Pretty much it turns normal type moves into fire type moves. So like I said, like Double Edge, Return, Frustration, Facade, those moves will be turned into fire type moves, and that's what I was saying, that you guys will be seeing a lot more of like normal type moves on Solrock, because it will do a hefty amount of damage. And also with Solrock being a physical attacker and being at base 145 for its physical attack, I can see those moves doing tremendous amount of damage to pretty much any Pokemon other than like resisted like Mons, like maybe like a Azumarill or something like that for an example. But I feel like since like obviously Solrock is based off of the sun, it had to be part fire, so I decided to get rid of its fire type character, or excuse me, its psychic type characteristics, and decide to actually add on the fire type characteristics. Now I left its rock type characteristics on just because obviously it is a rock of some sort, but other than that, like I said, like there was some stuff that was gonna like make this thing kind of good and kind of bad. That's what I was saying about its speed. I kind of wanted to make up for its 4 types weakness like water and ground, so I increased its speed to base 100. That way it will be able to like outspeed a couple of things, or just a lot of things in general, to make up for some of its losses. And I feel like if it does get a mega like this, it will be good, because like Solrock doesn't really get access to any like fire type moves. I mean, the only fire type move it gets access to are like Flamethrower Power, Fire Blast, Incinerate, and Will-O-Wisp, which are all special. So I wanted to actually give it an ability to actually have normal type moves become fire type moves. That way you can use moves like Return, Frustration, Facade, Double Edge, those types of moves on this Pokemon that can actually benefit from its fire type characteristics, which will also become Stab. So that's what I decided to do. So with all that, there is Mega Solrock. So anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now the next Pokemon, like I said, we are going to be talking about is Lunatone. So on Friday, expect to make a Lunatone video. So with all that said, this is White Boy for the win. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.